So for our class today, our theme is balance. And what I think is really important for us to remember as we go through this time right now where there's a lot of big emotions, a lot of big changing, is that it's normal to kind of have emotional wave like this. Like that's normal. Like we flatline would be not normal. So we have our highs and our lows, and our highs and our lows become painful when they become peaks and valleys. So when we don't have it rounded out. And that's where yoga can really help us out, because yoga just kind of helps us just balance things out and take some of those peaks and those valleys out so that we're just on our natural flow with life. And one of those ways that we really make things peaks and valleys, as we may notice, is many things are the same day to day. You know, like your hair color hasn't changed, your family hasn't changed, your job hasn't changed. There's so much the same day to day, but we're like on an emotional high and we just create a story about why we're super high. And then we're naturally on a low and we start to look for parts of our narrative that support the low. And so we're just telling all these stories to ourselves, so we're actually making it peaks and valleys, even though our natural emotional wave is trying to be normalized. So in our practice today, we're going to be using Hakini Mudra, which is a balancing mudra. We'll be using Nadi Shodhana breath, which is an alternate nostril breath that brings balance to both hemispheres of the brain, and also some balance postures and so forth to really kind of help get us out of the peaks and valleys and just sinking into that natural wave. So I have a little reading from Just Two Words to share with you. This is one of my favorite books because it's so succinct. So as we work towards balance, the two words are stop it, stop it. And then her little follow-up is, you know what it is. Stop it if you can. If you can't, seek the support you need to get yourself back into the driver's seat of your life, which is essentially what we're doing. When we are allowing ourselves to be part of this natural flow and just recognizing some days are high, some days are low, then we are in that driver's seat of life. So with that in mind, I invite you onto your backs into constructive rest pose. For our constructive rest pose, we'll have our knees bent and our feet on the ground. Move your shoulders around so they feel like they're in a comfortable position, the back of your head supported. And maybe turn the palms face up if that's comfortable on your shoulders. And we'll start to find our breath in and out through the nose. We don't need to change the breath. Just starting to watch the breath in and out through the nose. As you allow this natural calm breath to start to seep into your being, let's take a brief scan through the body, starting at the crown of our head and just scanning down the body, noticing if there's any areas where we're holding tension or tightness, and if simply through awareness we could relax and soften that area of your body. Beginning to scan from the crown of the head down the body, taking your time. You might need to relax the jaw or the shoulders, your low back, hips, thighs, knees or ankles. Take your time and feel yourself really settle into the earth. We'll be beginning our practice with what's called psychic Nadi Shodhana. Psychic meaning it's just through awareness of the mind. I invite you to exhale out all the air And on your next inhale, just watch the air as it enters the right nostril. Just feel that air enter the right nostril. And as you exhale, watch the air as you exhale through the left nostril. On your next inhale, watch the air up through the left nostril. And as you exhale, watch the air down through the right. So we're not blocking the nostrils at this point. We're watching this airflow. Inhaling right nostril. Exhaling left nostril. Inhaling left nostril. Exhaling right nostril. Again, inhale, watch the air upright. Exhale, watch the air down left. Inhale, watch the air up left. Exhale, watch the air down right. And now we'll add our arms. As you inhale and watch the air up the right nostril, we'll reach that long right arm up and over the right ear space. Exhale, down left. As you inhale and watch the air up the left nostril, reach that left arm up and overhead. As you exhale out right, lower the right arm down next to your body. Inhale, watch the air up the right nostril, right arm extends. Exhale, down left nostril, left arm comes next to your body. Inhaling up left nostril, left arm extends overhead. Exhaling down right nostril, right arm next to your body. Taking about a moment of this breath with your natural inhales and exhales. If the movement or the breath feels just a little confusing for your brain, you can always take deep, full diaphragmatic breaths. The next time you exhale down the left, you can inhale, feeling the breath through both nostrils, and meet your fingers above your heart, long arms in Hakini Mudra. Full breath in, full breath out. With these arms long above the heart, feel yourself breathing into your back rib cage. Keeping the arms long, extend the arms slightly above the crown of the head. Breathe in and out through the back rib cage. Good. And release the arms next to your body. We'll then extend the right leg straight up to the sky and interlace fingers behind the right thigh. Be kind to your hamstring, but we're going to straighten the leg to comfort and slightly push your hamstring into your interlaced fingers. So on a scale of 10, you're pushing your leg into your hand at maybe a 3, not too hard. So it's nice and long, and then start to move your right ankle, toes, and foot. This can be organic movements, circles, pointing, flexing. If you kind of sink into a spot that feels good, you can always hold that for a few breaths. Perfect. Keep the leg long, And we're going to bring our right elbow down to the earth like a kickstand or like a holder for your right leg, and open your right leg over to the right and rest into your right palm. From here, extend the right leg to comfort, and again, start to move the ankle and toes and feet. This is organic movement. Notice what feels good and right. We all have different sort of creaky spots in our body, so we can find those spots that feel good. Perfect. Slowly bring your right leg up, and then we're going to bring it over to the left. Same thing. It could be your left fingertips or your left hand, just depending on how long your left arm is. We'll bring our foot over to the left, lengthen the leg. So we're feeling a stretch through the right hip and pelvis. Try to keep your low back on the ground and start to move your right ankle, feet, and toes. Really feeling some lengthening through this outer right hip here. Good. Bring that leg back up to center, and then just bend and straighten a couple times. And just for comparison, lengthen both legs long and notice the different sensation in your right leg versus your left leg. It might feel longer, might just feel like there's more kind of energy flowing up and down it. But we'll bring balance now. So feet back into constructive rest, and extend the left leg up to the sky, interlacing fingers behind the left thigh. Lengthen your leg and push the hamstring into your fingers just a little bit, and start to move and awaken your left ankle, feet, and toes, pointing, flexing, circling, noticing what feels good on this side. Good. Lengthen the leg. And now left elbow comes down to the ground, little holder for your left leg, and open your leg over to the left. Good. Let the inner thigh be nice and long, and then start to move your ankle, foot, and toes here. We're awakening all these fascia lines and muscle lines in these different leg positions. Good. Bring that long left leg back up to center. Keep your low back grounded to the earth and move your leg off center to the right. You can hold your leg there with your right fingertips or right hand, depending on arm length, and start to move and open your ankle here. Looking to feel that stretch through the left outer hip. Great. Leg comes back up to center. Lower the foot down, and we'll take one full body stretch. Arms and legs long, stretching that whole body. Good. Then we bring the knees into the chest and just start to rock front to back until we rock up into seated. Moving our feet over to one side and coming into a hands and knees position. Hands and knees will be just for a second. We're going to take this general hands and knees position and walk our hands forward about one handprint, and then have our pinkies about as wide as the mat so our arms are a little bit wider. From here, press back into child's pose, but resist the urge of letting your hands come back. There'll be a little bit of a stretch for the arms and the spine. So your hips probably won't go back as far as they normally do. That just allows us to add that traction and opening through the back body. Take a full, complete exhalation. And as you inhale, lift your body up and into kneeling plank. Chin off chest, heart forward. Exhale, keep hands and knees where they are as you press back into your modified child's pose. Taking this flow a few times. Inhaling, coming forward, chin off chest. Exhale, pressing back. Keep your arms long and strong as you lift into that plank. The triceps, the outer arm muscles are hugging towards the bone. Perfect. Now at your next plank, pause and plank. Push the earth away and roll the weight out through the webbing of the fingers, away from the wrist. And then slowly lower down to the belly. Tops of the feet press into the earth. Tone up your thighs as we inhale, cobra, lifting our spine up. Exhale, down, lengthening spine. Moving with your breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Keep your feet firm to the earth and your thighs nice and toned throughout this whole flow. So the low body is supporting the movement of the upper body. Good. On your next cobra, lift and hold cobra, full deep breaths, maybe even pulling your hands away from the earth, using just your spinal strength to keep that lift. Good. Exhale down, lifting up to hands and knees pose. And we'll be stepping our left foot forward through the hands and turn all the toes to the long edge of the mat, like a wide straddle, slowly lifting up, hands to hips. Good. We'll be starting with heels in, toes out position. And then pick up all 10 toes to get your feet evenly grounded to the earth, the arches of the feet lifting. Great. And we'll add our arms so our body becomes one big letter X. Take a long breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, goddess. Hinge and hug yourself. Inhale, get big and long through all the limbs. Take up space. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge forward, and hug yourself with your breath. Inhaling up. Allowing yourself to flow through this movement with your natural inhales and exhales. Notice how that inhale lifts and lengthens the whole body. On the next inhalation, hold those arms to the skies. Good. And sink the legs into Deviyasana, goddess. Find that spot that feels comfortable for your feet, your knees, your pelvis. And then we'll bring our hands to touch in front of the belly, Hakini Mudra. Welcome the balance of your inhalation to your exhalation. Finding balance. Erasing those peaks and valleys and just curving the edges. One more breath here. And then slowly bowing forward. Turning your left toes to the head of the mat as you walk into runner's lunge just for a second, and then step back into yogi's choice, either down dog or child's pose. Notice what would feel best for you right now, and you can always change your mind. Fingers spread wide, arm muscles hugging the arm bones. And we exhale out all the air. On an inhalation, coming forward into yogi's choice, plank or kneeling plank, chin up, chest. Exhaling yogi's choice, down dog or child's pose. Starting to take this flow. Knowing that you can mix it up too. You can sometimes do knees lifted plank, sometimes knees down, sometimes child's pose, sometimes down dog. So the beauty is that you get to be very present and choose the flow and movement that best matches your body's request in this moment. Allow the breath to stay full. And at your next inhalation, pause in your plank of choice, knees lifted or knees lowered. Exhale down onto your belly. Pressing the tops of the feet to the earth, strong thighs. Modification on Cobra. We'll take our hands off the mat and come up onto the fingertips. I call this cupcake fingers. It's like there's cupcakes under your hands and you don't want your palm to touch the frosting. Elbows up. Strong feet, strong thighs. Inhale up, Cobra here. Exhaling down. Taking this as a pain-free movement matched to your breath. Inhale is a lifting breath. Exhale is a lowering breath. On your next inhale, pause, lift. Think of the words root to rise. As you root through your feet, you rise through your heart. Good. Exhaling down. Sliding hands under your shoulders as you press up and into hands and knees pose. In hands and knees pose this time, step the right foot forward between your hands and turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat, slowly lifting up to straddle fold to the opposite direction. In your straddle fold, this time feet will look straight forward versus out to the side, or slightly pigeon-toed, which would be big toes in, heels out. Good. Palms forward. Take a long breath in. We're going to exhale into a modified chair pose. So we bend the knees, push the hips back, and reach the arms forward as far as they'll reach forward. Then inhale back up into that starting position, arms at your side. Exhale, hips back, weight in the heels, bend the knees, reach forward, inhaling up. And starting to take this movement with your breath. Again, always choosing pain-free ranges of motion. In these movements, we want to be very respectful to our knees. All right, now some power on this next chair pose. Pause, hips back, arms forward, fingers to Hakini Mudra. Breathe into your back ribs, thinking of the inhales and the exhales matching each other. Keep those heels grounded, knees drawing away from each other. Deep breath. Lots of strength to be here. Good, and bow forward, straddle fold. Head and neck hang heavy. As we bend the right knee and lean to the right. Bend the left knee and lean to the left. And just take that side to side a few times. Perfect. Now we'll turn our right toes to the head of the mat and walk ourselves into runner's lunge just for a second as we step back into plank or down dog. Beginning to take a full flow here. Exhale out all the air. And inhale forward into plank or kneeling plank, chin off chest. Exhale down to your belly. Inhaling cobra. Exhale releasing, down dog or child's pose, yogi's choice. Taking that flow 2 more times. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank, chin up, chest. Exhaling, chaturanga, down to your belly. Inhaling, cobra. Exhale, releasing, child's pose or down dog. And one last time, inhaling, plank of choice. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, child's pose or down dog. We'll be holding this child's pose or down dog for a nice extended breath cycle. Relax your face. Relax the back of your throat. And invite your inhales and exhales to be balanced to each other. Approximately the same length in and the same length out. If you are in child's pose, lift to hands and knees. Then we'll all collectively step our feet forward, standing forward fold. Soften the knees as you inhale and circle sweep the arms up to the skies. Exhale, hands through center. And next to our body, mountain pose. In our mountain pose, palms forward. Feel your weight evenly balanced in your feet now. So you can even play around with that. Maybe you feeling your weight transfer from right to left, from front to back. And just make these soft movements and then let the movements get smaller and smaller until you feel yourself beautifully balanced through both feet. Good. We can then bring this Hakini Mudra right in front of our belly space. About 2 to 3 breaths here, feeling the balance of our feet, the balance of our breath. And then we challenge balance by lifting the heels up, coming into tall balancing mountain on the balls of our feet. Lift the heels, find that balance point, maybe a soft bend in the knees, and explore keeping your breath balanced, inhales to exhales. Good, heels down. Rebalance the weight in your feet. Press back into chair pose. Hands can stay in Hakini at your belly or extended arms, whatever you prefer. And in chair pose, explore lifting your heels up for balancing chair. So we give our body just a breath or two to adjust. And then we go back to that balance sensation of inhales and exhales. Recognizing that we can find balance, we can remove those sort of peaks and valleys even when in challenge. Good, heels down and mountain pose. Find your breath. Release your arms and fingers, and we'll give our limbs a little shake, arms and legs. At the head of our mat then, we're in our mountain pose, and we can have your hands on hips, but it's really wherever you feel most balanced. Your hands could also be on a wall or a chair. But we'll baby bend our knees and extend our right leg back, right toes tucked underneath. So if there's any bend in your right knee, remove that so that the leg is quite long and the hamstrings, the back of the thigh, is quite strong. And we engage hamstring and gluteal at the same time to lift the right leg and then lower the right leg. So let's take that pulsation a few times, lifting and lowering, really powering up that back leg, and starting to explore what balance feels like on our left leg. Good. Now lift and hold that right leg, and slowly sweep that right knee up and into stork pose. And then back and into that starting position, strong gluteal, strong hamstring. And we can take this movement nice and slow, almost like your right leg is this pendulum sliding forward and back. Notice how your left leg and really your whole body adjusts to find balance. There is this inner wisdom, this inner knowing of little things that need to happen for you to get back into balance. Good. And back to mountain. Shake out both limbs. Don't be surprised if your left leg feels a little bit tired. Back in our mountain pose then, we'll take our left leg and step it back, tucking those left toes under. Again, lengthen the left leg and start to tone up the hamstring and the gluteal at the same time. That strength at the back end of the leg is what will lift the leg and help you lower it. So we'll start that lifting and lowering on the left side. A little baby bend in your right knee so the right knee is not locked out. Breath is full. Good. Lift and hold that back leg up. Notice how your body just readjusts. It's always finding its balance point. And then slowly lifting that leg up and into stork pose. And back into the extended leg balance. Taking this movement slowly. Each side of our body is different. So what does your body do on this side? Maybe your hips wobble, maybe your arms move to different positions, maybe your toes graze the earth. But how does your body's intelligence create balance here? Just recognizing how smart this body is. Good, one more. Back to mountain. Ooh, and shake it out. You can really feel those legs now. They're alive, they're on fire. All right, we'll add on to this. Back to our mountain pose. Baby bend the knees, left foot to the earth. Right leg back, tone the right thigh, lift and lengthen that leg away from the earth. Breathe here. Good, right leg comes up, stork pose, a few breaths in stork pose, spine tall. And then the next pose is warrior one. So take your time, taking a big generous step back with your right foot for warrior one, a few feet behind you, right toes on a 45-degree angle forward. Good, left hip back, right hip forward. Ground your back heel as you tone your right thigh and bend the left knee. Good. In warrior one, hands could be in Hakini Mudra or in a traditional arms extended to the sky warrior one position. Wherever you are, bring balance to your inhales and your exhales. Connect to that wave-like movement of your breath. No peaks, no valleys. We're connecting to this natural flow of life. Hands come to the hips then. And we come onto the ball of the right foot. So the right heel lifts off the ground like a crescent lunge. And start to tone up that leg like you're gonna lift it up. So tone the right gluteal, tone the right thigh. And we'll have an option to come into a warrior 3 variation, recognizing that the strength of the back leg and the front leg are important. So we can hinge forward, maybe hang out here, maybe exploring lifting that right leg up off the ground. How high you lift it, totally up to you. But as you go into any of these positions, they are all a balance challenge. I invite you to notice how your body has an intelligence. It sort of knows what to do to bring yourself back to balance. Good, and mountain pose. Shake it out. Toes look forward, strong feet, baby bend the knees, and left leg extends back. So that right leg has a baby bend in it, and we'll extend the left leg up away from the earth. Toning left gluteal, toning the left hamstring. Good, left knee lifts up into stork pose. Your body will adjust. In your mind's eye, just see warrior 1 before you move into it. That visualization helps us to slowly take that long stride back. Left toes on a 45-degree angle forward. Right hip back, left hip forward. We'll bend that right knee. Good. Really feel the left heel firm to the earth. As with this left thigh, you feel it internally rotate and tone that left thigh in and up towards the pelvis. Hand choice is up to you. Hakini, arms to the sky. Good, so we just kind of excited the nervous system. Now we're gonna breathe and bring it back into that beautiful curve, that beautiful wave. Notice how your body can readjust. Your nervous system can readjust. Hands to the hips. Coming onto the ball of the left foot. And start to tone that back left leg, left gluteal, as you bring your spine forward, hinging forward, maybe lifting the left leg up, how high you choose, into a variation of warrior 3 or a variation of this crescent lunge. Wherever you are, it is a balance challenge. Let your body meet this challenge. We stress the system a little bit, allow it to find balance in a place of stress. And mountain pose. Good, shaking it up. In mountain pose, we'll take a nice inhale and reach those arms to the skies. Good. Exhale, forward fold. And hands and knees come down to the earth. Moving feet to one side as we come into a seated position with our legs in a straddle. Good. Now the tendency is to round your lower back and to lose your curve in your lumbar spine. So let's see if we can arch the lower back just a little bit to get that curve there. And then our shoulders are up over the hips. And then with our feet, let's point and flex the feet a few times. Those feet did a lot of work for us in that balancing. Good. And then toes up, knees up. And we'll bring our right foot into our left thigh. Keep that little arch in your lower back as you turn your heart to look towards your left foot. And extend that right arm up and overhead. Big long breath up through the right waist. Exhale, bow over your left thigh, maybe hooking your right hand over your foot or placing your right hand on your shin, yogi's choice. Allow that right sits bone and right thigh to be heavy to the earth. Slowly lifting up. Feeling your spine tall. And extend that right leg out to straddle. Let's move those toes and feet. Toes and knees to the sky. Arch the low back to grow the spine tall. And then left foot comes into your right inner thigh. Good. Extend left arm to the sky and allow yourself to pause here so you can really lengthen your left waist, grow the left side of the spine long. And we take a long breath in, shining our heart to our right foot, and then bowing over that right thigh. Each side of our body is different. So maybe it is clasping your hand on the base of your foot, maybe your hands on your shin or knee, finding that place that feels just right for you. The left sits bone and left thigh gets to feel heavy towards the earth. Good. And slowly lifting up. Extend that left leg long. Move your ankles, feet, and toes. Good. And then we'll bring our legs into a comfortable seated position. So it could be legs crossed. You could be in a kneeling position, and you might even choose to sit up on a blanket or a block. Just that little lift of the hips helps the spine be tall and the hips can be a little more comfortable. In our seated position, just move your spine organically a few times. Let your neck get involved and just kind of move out through any of those crinkly, tight areas. Good. And then come to a nice tall position. So arch the low back, crown of the head tall, but then relax your shoulders. So we'll be coming into the Nadi Shodhana breath now, the traditional version of this pranayama. And we'll be using our right thumb and our right ring finger. So our pointer and middle finger can come down into the hand. We'll exhale out all the air. Use your thumb and close the right nostril. Breathe in through the left nostril. Close the left nostril and open the right. Breathe out through right. Breathe in through right nostril. Close right nostril, open left, and breathe out through left nostril. Breathe in through left nostril. Close left nostril, open right, and continue this cycle. So it's exhale, then inhale, and switching sides. Option to close your eyes or find a soft spot to fix your gaze to. As we find this pranayama for a couple minutes, it's amazing how just a few minutes of breathing can really bring balance to the whole system. Whenever your next in-breath occurs, you can breathe in through both nostrils and breathe out through both nostrils. Watch this movement of the breath. Good. If you're seated on a block or blanket, you can slide that out. And we're going to be making our way onto our backs. If you have a yoga block available, have that close by. But if you don't worry, there's a modification we can use with our hands too. So we'll move our feet to one side, interlace fingers behind one thigh as we roll on back into constructive rest pose. We'll be taking one bridge and then transitioning into a supported bridge from traditional bridge. So that's where if you have a block, you can slide your block under your low back for supported bridge, or we can use the backs of our hands too. So let's feel those feet firm to the earth. Adjust your shoulder blade so the whole shoulder blade is really grounded to the earth. And then we'll lift our hips up and into bridge pose. Resist the urge to do anything fancy here. We have lots of variations on bridge pose, but maybe we could take this traditional posture, fill it with breath and awareness, and allow it to be enough. And preparing for our supported bridge. If you have a block, you can slide that block under your low back sacrum and rest your low back onto the block. If you do not have a block, you can place your palms underneath your low back, backs of your hands face up, and place your lower back on those hands. So in either position, we have just a little elevation of the hips. And you can stay right here with the option of extending your legs to the sky. Yogi's choice, you can always change your mind. We're really working to calm the body now. So choose whatever feels most calming, most nurturing for you. Briefly return to bridge pose to slide your block or hands out from beneath you and lower your hips down to the earth and let there be a nice big arch in your low back. And slowly let that arch come into its normal lumbar curve, nothing too excessive. Arms will come out to the side like the letter T then, and we'll come into a supine twist by lifting feet off the earth and taking our knees over to the right. Left shoulder is heavy to the earth. Option to have your head looking up to the ceiling or to the left. Knees come through center. And then over to your left. Right shoulder is heavy to the earth. Gaze can be skyward or to the right. Knees come back through center. And yogi's choice, maybe a full body stretch, maybe a knees to chest or a happy baby. Just notice what your body is looking for. Shavasana is on the other side of this lengthening and stretch here. I'll be in a seated position, and you can each find yourself in a comfortable, restful position. So on your back, knees to chest. Sometimes people enjoy laying on their belly, so just find yourself in that comfortable Shavasana space. Option to add blankets, pillows, anything that helps you relax. The breath is very natural. We will not try to change the breath or elongate it. Allow it to sink into its natural wave-like movement. Visualizing a golden light at the crown of your head, maybe even right above the crown of your head. And as you breathe in, this golden light draws down through the crown of the head, all the way into the pit of your belly. And as you breathe out, the golden light reverses direction and travels up and out through the crown of the head. Begin to watch this warm golden light. Inhaling, it draws down into the belly. Exhaling, it draws from belly up and out through crown of head. Option to add the internal mantra of meditation to this. As you inhale, your body feels the vibration of the word so. And as you exhale, it's hum. Inhaling so. Exhaling hum. So this breath, mantra, and golden light are like a lullaby for your whole being, calming the whole nervous system, softening all the muscles, steering your whole being back into this beautiful state of balance, back into that driver's seat. You can watch this movement of the breath and use mantra as much as it serves you. If at any point your mind wants to go into a quiet, still place, that's always an option. Maintaining stillness in the body and mind, very softly bring your knees to chest and rock over to your right side. Resting on your right side for a few breaths. Challenge yourself to keep your eyes closed as you lift up into a comfortable seated position. In seated position, observe the rise and fall of your breath. Welcome it into that natural curve, that natural wave-like movement. No need for peaks, no need for valleys. Allowing you to experience the richness and all the variety that life has to offer without the pain that can accompany those extremes. Feeling our hands touch in front of our heart and opening our eyes with a soft gaze to our fingertips. Light in my heart bows with deep honor to the light in each of your hearts. Namaste. Namaste. Mm-hmm.
Namaste. Thank you. That was beautiful.